Lord, love that library. Well, just more apartment with food. I'm a victim of a hate crime. These nichos to the left are comebacks that steal from me. They can disloyal as far as I know how to be one and disgusting. They stay in my hands with all my permission. They steal my vehicles. They get loyal. They're saving money. They pretend to be my staff when they are and can't even be in my own home. They sleep in my own bed. They're like, there's no bed here for us again to be a civilian. Tell me they're stupid. They're so gross. They're embarrassing. They're sex addicts. They're porn addicts trying to rape me. They're embarrassing. In the meantime, I'm missing money. I'm telling the FBI in this post, NATO, Interpol, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, the Justice Department. What else? I texted my baby daddy earlier. He said in 2024, are you gonna say your buddies at the library that I wanna get me? Thinking of library was all the Alex. I never well with a year it's not his job to be like, well, what about something? Okay, he's trying to preserve him baby making more with me, so he has a right to mention him specifically. What else? In a long time. My dad financially stable, financial children, and me people do live in Morrison. That's like what about gender and then more of a few things that I'm gonna be also. Like mostly everyone in my family are orphans and noises and she gets like obsessed and thinks that he likes her and maybe because I don't wanna have to raise her when she's just doing fine with me. John, YouTube. What else? You can decapitate everyone that steals from me. You can decapitate everyone that gets in the way of their money. You can decapitate everyone that stays in my homes without my permission. You can decapitate everyone that steals my vehicles. You can decapitate everyone that gets in the way of using money. These people are disgusting. They're embarrassing. They come buckets so gross. These are people of adult age too. They're embarrassing. They infiltrate more of it and violão nessa casa una. So that one is miserable and so that one isn't happy alone or pursuing one's crushes. They're embarrassing. They're so gross. Why are they still alive? I miss dating. I miss getting lonely. Edgar hysteria. These people are disgusting. What else? I'm bored. I miss dating. I miss getting lonely. What else? Verkligen il comeback de Yandel violándolo. Joda con asco. Ew, ew, ew. They're like, I'm so non-committal. I'm never gonna let a man tell me what to do, so I'm never moving in with him. So now they're possibly Yandine, now that Arlene has said that she has a crush on you on Facebook. I'll move in with you for 3 months. Let's head over to Brickell. Everyone will see me. Then you'll date my sister. Y la misma mesera. After I live with you for 3 months, then when you move in with my sister, when you take her out to that restaurant, la mesera va a decir, wow, está ahora él con la línea que hace una semana estuvo con la comeback. La mesera most likely will be different. La mesera most likely won't remember. La mesera most likely won't care about my personal life. La mesera could be like, oh, Jandelo, I'm taking Arlene to bed today. My siblings are disgusting. You can decapitate Evelyn Lorenzo Acevedo. You can decapitate Marilyn Lorenzo Acevedo. You can decapitate Giver Lorenzo Acevedo. They're cum buckets. They steal my money to rape my crushes. They're embarrassing. They're embarrassing. These people are embarrassing. What else? What else? What else? What else? For real, mi futuro jevo could be here in San Antonio, Texas. Wasn't J Balvin here? The performance at hotel. What else? What else? What else? And I was headed there that day to pay the cover and dance there. I was, what is it? Upset that I get invited to the party. Funny if I don't know you and you don't know me, or if you're like, if she had been showing her chill mood and not crying all through high 35 and talked to us, she would have been a guest in the party. That happens. No regrets. Either way, lovely party. Hope you have what else? What else? I was at Garden celebrating. For if I miss a party that day, I was at Garden dancing, celebrating life. So that I bring awareness that people on the streets need food. What else? 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 You're all so generous with your abuse. Said no one ever. How many people did she let die? Well, I was screaming. Gloria Nirsa was an orphan at the age of 6. She lacked self care. Mostly everyone in her family of origin abused her. And my siblings are terrible. My siblings have my dad hostage, so he doesn't give me money so I can enjoy life. They're comparing. They're like, I didn't have my own room. If my sister has her own room, I'm gonna kill her. They're still like they're in their 50s and they're still crying over who gets their own room or not. They're embarrassing. They're embarrassing. What else? What else? What else? Then they get comebacks too. Comebacks. Come buckets to support them. And they're like, so you didn't have your own room. I'll help you kill your sister. They don't obey the law. They don't respect human rights. They're embarrassed. And these are people that attended school too. What else? What else? What else? What else? This was a lovely stay at that Guadalupe church. I didn't know how long I would have to answer that question. So I was asked if I would like to give my opinion on something. Like I know every subject, so most likely I'll be able to answer. But I didn't know how long it would take for me to answer, so I was there waiting for the bus. And I said no interview today. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I miss Jaden and I miss Kehlani. Oh fuck! I Jaden Kehlani, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. Forgot to cover that. Once again, it's like, can we? Okay, now that I know everything about your exes, I don't want to know about anyone but you, Kehlani, and Dad, and myself. Let's just keep it that way. And on behalf of Kehlani, too. that I'm acting as her advocate here because we talked before I called you. What else? 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 I'm bored. Also, I had an apartment for Jada and Kehlani where Jada and Kehlani shared a room. In 2016, my siblings behind the scenes want to create fights in front of me about Jada and Kehlani fighting. So, did you miss not having your own room with your mother? She's so responsible. Well, my siblings steal from me. Like, my siblings are pots. They're so gross. They're girls. They're disgusting. They're old people already, and they don't want to behave like adults so that they don't lose like their funness, and they don't want a man or a woman telling them what to do while they live together, so they refuse to commit, so they're so non-committal that they rape. They're an embarrassment. Commitment isn't bad at all. From experience, I lived with a girl for so many years. I don't regret it. It's like I'm done reading all that. It's like I'm done reading. Madewell was fine. What else? What else? What else? I've listened to so many songs on YouTube already. While I do the dishes, while you're at work, I'm ready for a vacation. And apparently, so are you because you're like, yep, let's head over to where you just said. I suffered in Florida from like, I don't even want to be in the home anymore. I'm so abused. There's so many gross people around me. So every day when I arrive from work, I'm like, I want to try out this. No, we're not gonna escape from this home. If you want to cook, like that's not the issue. It wasn't me trying to avoid cooking. He's like, I know, but you're not gonna like. We're not gonna do the thing. We're not ever here in the home. You're not gonna escape from abuse by running away from it. I'll cook and we can cook together. I'm like, okay. What else? What else? What else? All of these cum buckets were around me. And these are leeches that stay with my arranged marriages that complain that they're disgusting and that they never have time to be pursued by me because cum buckets always manipulando. Ay, ¿cómo lo hago? Que salga de tu casa y me lame a mí mientras nada. They're cocoa, so gross. What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. I'm bored. I'm heading over to Catholic Charities later to get food if they have any. Acevedo, you can decapitate Jennifer Lorenzo Acevedo, you can decapitate Maria Angelis Aviles Alonso, you can decapitate Jade Lorenzo Chaparro, you can decapitate Berlin Jean, you can decapitate Jennifer Bonilla, you can decapitate Caro Cristina, whatever last name is, you can decapitate Katie Leon, you can decapitate Monica Pacheco, you can decapitate Fernanda Nieves, you can decapitate Angela Charles, it's so disgusting, you can decapitate Lindsay Fischler. You can decapitate Katie Rose Miller. What else? What else? That takes on. 10 decades ago, people were like, well, we're gonna steal from you and starve you para que se muera de hambre también. And he's like, hey girl, wanna take me out to dinner, I'll pay. And they're like, whatever, kill Yandel, kill Yandel. Porque era novio de mi prima y se dejaron, so I'm like, kill Yandel, kill Yandel. They're embarrassing. And that's who gets to date with it because that's who he's attracted to. So I don't want a petty fuck ever. And if I like it, I'll get built decades ago. I heard that his career, though he may not be on for now, is so that I can remember that he's out there in a non-invasive way for if I ever want to pursue him. So that's why come back and stays in my home, steals my money. What is Berlin gonna tell me? Oh, Shandel, I have been lovers all this time. Andrew me la presentó mi toda, pero que nunca tengo tiempo para estar contigo. They're disgusting. They're embarrassing. I met her briefly for 5 minutes. She was dancing in my own home, pretending to be me. She steals my vehicle. She gets in the way of me receiving money. She steals my money. They're disgusting. Ew. Anyways. Y este es el reggaetonero o artista. Skip it. Okay, they think that this type of news is gonna get me off the internet. Those comebacks that I met decades ago. Like, wanna see how much I have in the bank account right now? Zero. Staff can live in my home if there's not a room for staff. And even if there's a room for staff, I haven't selected the staff yet. They're holding auditions a ver quién le limpia el culo a Andrew. A ver quién gana limpiarme el culo a mí. And Andrew's like, I won't date me, pero ay, me baño. Y todo, wow. Alguien has que And then he goes on to date women, and they're like, who is this Arlene that has staff showering her husband instead of being out on a date? She sounds terrible. Anyways, that's all I have in the bank. So they think those come buckets, and when I read this, I'm gonna be like, oh no, este hombre. What else? What else? What else? They do that too. Para decir, Yandel es un pelao. Arlene, no te enamores de él. These people are disgusting for decades already. Who said that I'm? They're embarrassing. They're so gross. They're embarrassing. I got a phone call from someone in her like a few days ago. I was like, I don't know, I'm famous. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Talk to him. His symphonical show may get affected. I'm like, I have no interest in talking to him ever. What else? 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 I'm bored. I'm bored. They possibly have people kill people based on kindness out there. Gloria Nirsa specifically. Pero I got served a beautiful dish today that I smiled when I saw it. What else? What else? What else? What else? So much fun. So there's people out there. They're kind still. I haven't got to. Entonces hoy una compa que dice yo canto mejor que el Lee, no me equivoqué en los lyrics and then más me lo mismo. They're embarrassing. They're so gross. Thank you, Vicky Munoz Carrero. When I took Kaylani to Ellie Golden, I mentioned like I hope I don't die you. So you're not dying, so I don't love me like it. And I had taken Jaden to an activity prior. I don't base like price point when I do them. Like I spent time to even doing something that they didn't want to do. So I took Ilani to the 50 Shades concert for Gary. Kilina Talina. Are you still there? No, that was an awkward stage. 80 beautiful. So I didn't take her to see the movie 50 Shades of Grey. Pero Kehlani, at the age of 4, was so in love with me. He said, I'm going to marry you, myself, and Peter. I said, you don't know you are. She said, why? Because he doesn't love me. I said, what else? 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 So there was a third party in that conversation that looked at me and translated to him, just like these songs harder than I know. I said, what are they thinking? Is what she could say. And I was so like, I can imagine every queen out there so for so stupid for trying to pursue her by literally chasing her down with almost a knife or a gun at this point. So they're like, what it really means is that you have erectile dysfunction due to abusing her and her not reciprocating with love towards you. Stop trying to be put to your levels on why you are used. Abuses are used to steal from what is unkept, but you can't get it. Esta que me traumó, a este sí que la voy a hacer ahora. Esta vámonos. He's raping based on skills. It's disgusting. Look, if that's his significant other, you're gonna say, okay, I understood, whatever, let's go. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? He lies. He makes people hate me. Este es Arlene me abusa y nadie no es un hombre abusado que el pene no se le para demasiado. What else? There are people are on the internet. There are people that won't ever find out that he's created hate towards them. That if they see me on the streets, they possibly would want to throw water at me, but they won't because they're more civilized than that. And like how he's ruined their life with the implications of the word. I just did one of those Asians. But that's the word. That I'm about okay, he's retaliating for me not having sex with him ever. Is it 1:30? I'm heading over. Two. What is it? Catholic Charities. This is common knowledge already. If that happened between the third party, he and I, then it's CNN already knows about it, is what I think. If he doesn't see it on a news article with his picture on it because he wants fame, he wants to see his picture on TV. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? For him? Edgar said, are you gonna see your buddies at the library? I thought about the murderer, thief, rapist. Yandel, mejor para nosotras, porque así lo violamos. That's how they speak. They end up confessing all the time. They're disgusting. They stay in my homes without my permission. They steal my vehicles. They get in the way of nursing money. They're embarrassing. What else? What else? What else? What else? Anyways, what did I write on MS? Sandals. This is Richard. What else did I read? wasn't her goal work to bring wealth to their family, even if they have infinite wealth, I assume. But they could be doing literally the pony and rodeo show to acquire wealth, like anyone on Instagram. What else? What else? Speaking of Instagram, anyways, what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. I feel so sickly, but that's the comeback's goal and the leech's goal that divorced me two decades ago. Anyways, see, they're poor. Who are the other people in the list? Or something about his training for when he's a working royal. What else? 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 Mostly everyone in my family origins that come back at wishes that Queen Elizabeth would with them for the fashion, for the food, and for them to be like, let me introduce you to plantains as if they don't know what a plantain is. And garlic. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? They're embarrassing. They're embarrassing. Some of them are so scary that I've heard that they steal my money, get into fashion that looks like someone from Britain. It's called a coat that they don't wear in Puerto Rico. So most cliche, they get taken to New York City. They're wearing a coat and they're like, okay, when do we go heal that Elizabeth? Porque we already infiltrated Arlene's home. Thank you, Andrew. ¿Qué más vamos a hacer? El tipo un bruto, un puerco, una basura. Crying is like, I thought that if I bought her a coat to go to New York, she would understand lifestyle. No, she's like, sex, Elena Queen. You were stealing from Arlene. I'm getting away with it. So easy. They're not. They're comebacks. What? What else? What did I read about George? Sorry. What else? What else? King George. What is it? Working. What is it? Oh, it's not. He's not even king yet. How do I? George Burton. There was an article. What MSN? What else? I'm bored. Anyways, congratulations to Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo Sons that raped me and Ginny Gentilides Lorenzo Suarez on their arranged marriage decades ago. They love each other. They all love to kill, to rape children, to steal. So that's why they're in it together. I'm not his rehabilitation clinic. I wouldn't ever be near her. More than nice, lovely dinner. Look at us, our vegetarian pizza, yay! And I wouldn't want to be with both Jade and Kehlani, both of her children, because I don't want her ever to be able to compare and be like, so yeah, Jordan no se parece nada a Kehlani, ni Taish no se parece a Jaden. So I'm like, I'll stop at one kid. Like I dine with her, and also hoping that she stops stealing from me. What is Princess Charlotte's surprising new hobby? What else? What else? What else? What else? I thought that one dinner would be enough. Like, look at us, we eat vegetarian together. And Pizza Hut is very lovely in Puerto Rico, so I love What else? 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 So she's an athlete. What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. I'm bored. What is it that I read earlier? How do I find this article? Maybe I won't. Oh, I have a screenshot of it, possibly the title. That's up to, what's this? Steakhouse. Chains that aren't worth the price tag, according to MASH. Well, that's according to MASH. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Just heard the word genocide there. What a disaster. You can decapitate me having daughters and sons that rape me. That's the only money that get in the way of your same money. I made a, what is that? A compliment of a Palestinian man once, so he's gone on to try to kill them all. So I don't ever find that exotic. Anything that looks like him, I've heard that he'll kill. Based on he's caused my starvation in more than 30 years, I believe it. What else? What else? What else? What else? Thank you, SNL, for keeping me laughing through all of these days. Well, the least that doesn't understand self care kills Gloria Nilsson for having drugged me and raped me because I didn't have a fair shot at killing her. I can't see the title, but there's an article about future King George being taught the in and outs of being a working royal. I just finished that training with Jada and King Lonnie. What else? 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 What did they bring to my life? Just some dishes I don't have garlic. What else? What else? What else? Aren't they like really famous for toilet bringing to places? I've heard, but I don't ever like. According to my dad, he's very grateful because it's thanks to them that we had working toilets in homes where I grew up decades ago. So that's what has stuck with me, but I've never like claimed that that's what it is because I can't confirm it. But everyone has a contribution. What else? 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 My dad would have been my boyfriend, so it's like you can legally be the responsible boyfriend that lives with your mother trying to raise. Scary. I don't know how you do it. You leave your like fresh fields of mangoes. Like I just see bottles of those and just you want a boyfriend? What else? Oh, back to the like some people say that they gave Jandel a career, even though he has money, so that he's visible to me. What else? What else? And for si Edgar turned out to be un pelado que no me llevaba a ningún lado, then I could resonate with lifestyle. Pero Edgar respects himself and respects me and Jaden Kilani, so there's more land here than sea or water, bodies of water. I notice. So that was taking a break from work too, porque they work hard. They attend school 8 hours a day. At home for the most part. What else but that's so that they can like network one day and say, so I went to school with fulanita that also loves despacito like I do. Or did you know that the crapper was literally like sitting right there next to me? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Jaden, this is the current kid that goes to school with you. Oh, you poor thing, aren't you? She's so polite, almost bows down to me. Like, what a cute kid. Not better than my kid ever. You're so polite that you don't go on chasing at night. So you must have lovely parents, I think. But just because you have the bigger. Describe what base living is not something that I want to get into. What else? What else? What else? When if there's a war, your dad and your mom may get to Michael Kors before me. Just because right here he has the title of general, but I that I possibly have a like a prominent person in the school, in the BX, everywhere. Based in the chow for lifting and get money, and I don't have food and it's not military only. What else? 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 So I'm just gonna be like, you have the bigger home, I think. On base, how lovely. But you ain't happier than my kid. Do they go on? That matches the interview that I gave a while ago based on character. That someone forced me to do, and it's so necessary. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. Behind the scenes, they possibly have great with the colonel's kid just to hear my thoughts one day. Oh, how do I think the kid compares with my own kids? There's no comparison. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? They anticipate. This this whole production of a concert has happened because someone paid for it. Possibly me. What else? What else? What else? What else? Porque my dad may have said, tú no vas a ser ridículo de cantar reggaeton sinfónico, okay? Pero we know who is willing to do that. So to some people, some fans, they're like, why didn't they let her become for a day and do symphonical, acoustical? And I'm like, don't be tourism. I mean, Daddy Yankee, I don't know if in person I don't like you again. So I'm really busy getting raped by Jorge Avila Stanley. But if you want to try out, yo, mi novia, los tres. Or that's what's going on, but that needs to be happening in real time, not like por si acaso, pero no me muero por eso tampoco. Anyway, what else? I'm bored. And Jaden will say she's looking at the home like, did they use my home for the video? ¿Y quién se está escondiendo en el baño? And I am showing up, but I guess it's not coming from the I don't know what she's talking. I'll give it a show you. It's the What is this? Produce management. I love it. They came out of box. So cute. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What was I thinking about? Alright, cigars. Hopefully you guys enjoy. And I did a house game with getting a tattoo. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. You can decapitate me. I mean, sort of sons. The sons that rake me is stealing money to get in the way of your statement. They're disgusting. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. What else? I feel sickly, but that's understandable. I lack self care. Then I go shower. And oh, MREs. I get brought a box. I was like, I didn't use this, and I had it in my locker at work. So how about if you want to try all the food? I'm like, what's your favorite? Show me your favorite. Or good one. I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna eat it all at once. If you want to try, go ahead. But I'm not letting the candy go to waste. So I may have tried like just sample a few. What else? What else? What else? Was gifting me money today. So basically, what they try to do is try to put me in front. You get a prominent person that's rich with him possibly participating. So I kill myself because my relationship with him didn't work out. This is family of four and these people are in years. They're like, we'll build you a boyfriend, but you can't get him now. Let's see what we can try with them. What else? What else? What else? What else? I texted David and good morning. So I'm still communicating. I'm just not posting their conversations with me at the moment at their request. They didn't tell me anything. Okay, requesting that you don't post pictures of us or conversations of us on the internet. I ask that you delete everything that you posted about myself and Haley Mama pictures are there like in the What else? What else? What else? I assure you that you're gonna be fine. Talk to your dad. What else? What else? What else? What else? That doesn't mean that I won't be able to disappoint it when you want to police me. Buckets of rose. And this is just a small sample of it. They're like, oh, well, if you still want to be on social media, I want you to understand. I want to understand. Don't let her be on social media. These people are disgusting. They're embarrassing. When I financially stable, I need to tell my family before I do anything. Yes, I'm having over to anyways, look at yourself and keeping me to herself. Fine. Up to the age of 12 to get me with my crushes. And sadly, there's some bucket where I grew up around. I'm still constantly. They think there's pride in being convicted, they're just disgusting. They don't obey the law. Not about the law, kaya alam na pig. Gatijera, por ahí matando a la gente en description. I've said that decades ago. This is why they're like, we want a new leader. We want someone that's willing to kill just for fun. So they try to kill me. They're disgusting. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored when I'm financially stable. I plan to travel the planet and meet people. Ideally, polyamorous. Where is this? 8-1-21. I need a cleaning. Anyways, no one for the most part that I grew up around is a woman or a man. So they're embarrassing. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? They do this. They get paid. Possibly by Andres Suarez, by Ginny Gendaliris, for example, Esther Rivera, I've heard, to make it difficult for me to find a date. Because they're like, no man is gonna take her on a date if it is to post that she was begging him for sex. Didn't Richie rape me in 2020? Such a heading to a bus stop soon to get some lunch. Our cousin turns if we have any. What else? You can decapitate around the stays in my homes without my permission. You can decapitate around that steals my vehicles. You can decapitate everyone that gets in the way of receive money. You can decapitate everyone that steals my money. It's May 16, 2025. Newspaper disgusting. Okay, I'm done. I was here with you. What? You can decapitate everyone that stays in my homes without my permission. You can decapitate everyone. If they use the excuse for trying to reunite her with gender and they're not with this language, they're embarrassing, they're so gross. Agenda lo vi yo en Papa Panenka in 2019, I think. And I was extremely busy with I need to stay in my vehicle for at least another hour. I can get closer to the police station to report the people who steal me. And I'm heading out sooner to my possible. If I didn't know they were going to thought my only look of the day today. What else is? Oh, they want to play the bad mother part, que le dijeron le tiene que importar él cuando me esté mamando la tuta. If I'm a good mother or not. These people that I grab are embarrassing. They need to kill thousands of people. That's so funny that these two showed up on the same day. This one, where is that? Oh, and behind the scenes, como que aceito de me observe my family with knowledge to the point. Can you do like thousand things like you volver a llamarte? Your mom was the one who told me that she's giving you up to your dog. She doesn't love you. You get that to the little. I'm just like guessing here. No te va a volver a llamar, que no te va a volver a hablar. What else? No te pierdas tiempo, eres. Amigas y no en mi pelo y que te metes. Hopefully no llegas a punto. Did you send me to on the short term reunion? And my parents are like, no, this is too public. You have to pick her up. Porque she has a commitment job, baby. So they get Munoz Carrero, or did they get Munoz Carrero literally? Have money aside that day for replaying for me to return to my parents' home. I would have wanted to have a support system where it would have been like laughing with these people, like really when they were two. No, my mom had to that. I tried them. And like according to my parents were here. So you and I were like, good to know that you keep up with your parents still. And you look pretty good, like pretty like that too. And they're like, good to know that you can do that again. Okay, I'm gonna turn on and want to do the whole showering. Seeing with you, porque they explained that like we progress in our heads. That if we saw naked ones, we're gonna have to do the entire makeup. I'm right. This is the face of I'm right. This is the face of I'm always right. Oh my goodness. That's why I've been having played with me decades ago. The family positive observed to having a journey have taken advantage of building a new what is it? Journey to be with like everyone that was around work when I was a child. And some people did not participate or something that while she's here. And I'm not getting look at all these, but it's like people really wilderness. There's some of them. What else is there's a reason I didn't return to the world of people without me into my parents' home. As right there so many times. So, seguido de frente, seguido de small. Medals for Jorge Aviles, for Joanna Vargas. Thereafter, my vagina picture, they can't continue progression with the person that doesn't want to participate with. Interaction must be mutual. It's like, here's my vagina picture, want to see it? Not them trying to kill me, starve me just to see what it looks like, as if they need that progression. They're not obeying the law. No leader is going to give them killing every day. Not even themselves. Okay, how they're going to survive then? I'm heading over to